Our first contestant is Ms. Megan Christian from Your Science Tech, will be presenting Where High Fashion Meets Space in the Metaverse. Put our hands together for her, please. Thank you. If we can please take our seats as well for Megan to give us our pitch.
All right, again, let's get ready to launch with the world's first space tourism fashion brand. My name is Megan Christian. I'm CEO of Your Science Tech, and this adventure started when I went to Antarctica for a year. And I lived and worked in some of the coldest conditions in the entire world. And I really tested the limits of technical clothing. So, as Concordia, where I stayed, is also known as White Mars, I really started to think about spacesuits too. As Richard Branson said, if you're going to space, you ought to look good, feel good, and have the experience of a lifetime. At Your Science Tech, we feel the same way. So the mission of Ignition is to enable an interconnected experience of fashionable self-expression for the upcoming generation of space tourists. So currently, spacesuits are very functional, but they don't have much regard for aesthetics. Novel spacesuit designs are absolutely crucial to unlock the full potential of space tourism. Now, tourism is always about seeing and being seen. So just as you might buy a whole new wardrobe for your cruise around the Pacific Islands, you'll want to look your very best if you do a cruise through the stratosphere. And not just for your fellow passengers, but for everybody around the world that's watching on social media and soon on the metaverse too. And now is the moment to serve fashion in space, because the tourism industry is just beginning to expand beyond the Earth's atmosphere. So these are the suits that are around for space tourists at the moment. We can see that the SpaceX suits have gone a long way forward compared to the traditional astronaut suits. Indeed, they were designed by a Hollywood costume designer. But are they fashionable? Well, that's in the eye of the beholder. Personally, I like them, but I think there's a bit of room for improvement. The Boeing Starliner suits, well, I don't think there was any fashion designer involved there. And the Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic suits are updates on the NASA and ESA uniform. You know that blue flight suit that they wear? Yeah, there might be some variations, but really it's essentially just a blue jumpsuit. So there's a lot of potential for design in space tourism. So this is our solution. We will create spacesuits conceived by fashion designers, imbued with the latest technology, and connected to the metaverse. No more one-size-fits-all jumpsuits, but a fashion-forward approach to designing space clothing. We will use the most advanced materials to maximize comfort and wearability. And it's not just a suit, but it's an all-round immersive experience. Imagine if you want your friends to feel what you're feeling when you're in your space hotel. We can provide gloves with sensors in them that analyze your surroundings and send haptic feedback to your friends on the ground. Or imagine that you want to relive this once-in-a-lifetime experience over and over again. Well, movement capture sensors in your suits will project what you're doing to the metaverse, and you will have a detailed travel log to relish forever. Now, space fashion tourism does not yet exist, but we know that it's set to explode because the space tourism market is projected to grow by over $5 billion between 2021 and 2025. Aside from the orbital and suborbital flights that are already on offer, Axiom Station is planning to offer 10-day expeditions for individual tourists to their space station. Voyager Station, set to launch in 2027, is going to be a space hotel for over 400 guests. Neptune Space Lounge and similar projects are pressurized pods that will be taken up into the stratosphere by lighter-than-air balloons for a kind of stratosphere cruise. And then there's Orbital Reef, being designed by Blue Origin, which is aimed more at business tourists who are opening up markets in space. These examples all show that space tourism is really ramping up. At first, the price tags will be high, that's for sure. but those who can afford them will want to make their mark. So our physical suit will be in two lines. We'll have the individual and the business line. So they'll both be designed by fashion designers using the most advanced materials. The individual suit will be made in consultation with the person so that it can be fully tailored to them and can have their own personal touch. The company suit will have their own company branding and a series of standard sizes to be used for all their employees. And in the future, we plan to expand to a full range of clothing and accessories for both kinds of tourists. Then there's the metaverse. So our metaverse section is all about integration. So we will include a range of sensors in the suit to fully integrate with 3D avatars. And these will be used, and we will set up systems for real-time interaction with Earth. Then these systems themselves will be able to be used to have events in the future. Why not have a hybrid metaverse real-world fashion contest in zero gravity? And from the beginning, we will be selling NFTs, not just to guarantee the authenticity of the suits, but also to set up a complementary virtual space fashion line for those people who can only dream of being space tourists. They can be space tourists in the metaverse. So there are two types of spacesuits for space tourists. Those that have to go into orbit, and in that case, they need to be able to pressurize for emergency purposes. And then there are those that don't. And we will target this market so that we can offer a lower price point, but most of all, so that we can have the flexibility in the design and in the metaverse integration. One day, we may expand to orbital flight suits as well, but we expect the price point to be around 10 times higher. This is our go-to-market timeline. 2022 will be devoted to concept design and R&D on the sensors. 2023, that year, our first prototype will be released and iterated, and we will roll out the metaverse systems. We will also start selling our NFTs in the virtual fashion line, and our physical rollout will be in 2024. So currently, our company is based in the UK and Italy. So our manufacturing and operations hubs will be there. The customization and sales hub will be in the US and Japan, although sales will be available worldwide. And these will be led by a promotions and marketing hub right here in Dubai. So it's very much a fledgling market, and there aren't many competitors out there. The main example is Under Armour, which is a sportswear brand who designed the suits for Virgin Galactic, both inner and outerwear. An indirect competitor is Horizon Studios, who designed the first luggage for space travelers. Our main market will be space clothing, but as I said, we're planning to go through to accessories in the future too. Ignition outstrips its competition by its fashion-forward approach and the personalization that can give individuals freedom of expression. And the fact that it's in a universal experience with the integration with the metaverse means that it goes right up to the next level. We asked some designers to jot down some sketches of what they thought the future of fashion in space tourism could be. Camille gave us these designs that show us the progression from a sportswear jumpsuit approach to a playful combination of inner technical suit and outer mini dress. And you can think about different fabrics that can be used, something that's rigid so it always stays in place, or on the other hand, a floaty fabric that floats around in zero gravity. Going more in depth, Eleanor's research led her to a modular approach. So once again, there's an inner compression suit, and in this suit we include sensors and pockets. And then she layers on the outside functional and fashionable garments that can be converted to create different looks, for example, long and short trousers. On top of all this, she adds a vest or a jacket that can be used to house the emergency life support systems. And in particular, the shoes show a real design flair. So clearly, there is a lot of room for innovation in design for space tourism. This is our team. It consists of myself and Dr. Carlo Iorio from the University of Brussels. And together with one of our advisors from Cambridge University, they actually work together, collaborate here in Dubai on the Lunar Rover project and the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center. We also have an advisor from the National Research Council of Italy on the scientific side. We have a management and information technology advisor from Accenture Belgium. And we have a fashion advisor from Louis Vuitton. We have a range of supporters, some of whom you can see here. As you read some of the testimonials from our supporters, I will summarize. Ignition is the first fashion brand for space tourists. We will be the pioneers for the look and feel of humankind as we progress into space. So, Mission Control, we are ready for ignition. Are you?